Alright, this is JBM here, my Marvel Star Wars issue number 33 review. Continuation now. Okay, this took place in between episode 4 and The Empire Strikes Back. This was actually right before The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. There's even hate mail in this comment that Marvel responds to of people like, man, You haven't let Skywalker, he hasn't learned anything. I saw the trailer of Empire Strikes Back. He at least knows how to lift things now. George Lucas wouldn't let him advance the plot, so basically they just let him do a whole bunch of nothing. And that's what they do. He has no confrontations with Vader between issues, the whole issues, the first until the Empire Strikes Back adaptation in issue number 38. And, so they make Han Solo and Chewbacca do random missions and Luke Skywalker do random scouting missions for the rebellion. So this is a formidable foe, finally. So George Lucas wouldn't let him touch on the story. He was even like, why don't they just show us how Vader killed his father too? They were naive to completely anything, to everything. It was pretty awesome to see a fan's boy's perspective of Star Wars right before The Empire Strikes Back came. And so they finally came up with a formidable foe. They're like, Luke Skywalker's still practicing his lightsaber, what the hell? And anyway, so George Lucas wouldn't let him advance the plot. But this one is a good issue, is what I'm saying. The villain, Baron Tagge, part of the family who his brother is an Imperial officer on a starship, and he's ended up rendezvousing with him to transport some goods so they could basically neutralize this resource on this planet and take over this planet where a rebel base is or something. And he's obsessed with lightsaber action in what he calls a blaster age. This is so well done by Marvel. And Luke Skywalker and Han Solo end up tailing him, and they're doing an old-fashioned exchange. What they're doing is they send out these astronauts to move the cargo from their ship to the starship, and it's pretty dope. And Luke Skywalker ends up trying to sneak on there into the astronaut suit. And he ends up going on there, and obviously the Imperials, there's some like Imperial troopers who are in like astronaut gear. They end up arresting him. They bring him on board, and they end up having a James Bond, when he meets his villain type meeting, and he sits in the room, and and they have like a drink together, and he tells them the villain tells him his plot, and James Bond's just so calm, even though he also tells him that he's about to die. And Luke Skywalker ends up sneaking away, getting one of the lightsabers on board, and they end up having a duel. So this cover lives up to its hype. Most of the Star Wars Marvel comic book issues were all like false advertised covers of like Vader and like Luke Skywalker fighting, even though they wouldn't meet, like I would say. But this one, they actually, Baron Tagge, this villain, shows down with Luke Skywalker, and they just do it beautifully. It's a beautiful tale, and Baron Tagge ends up schooling him at first, and then he ends up underestimating Luke, and Luke ends up busting off his vision goggles of Baron and sacrificing his life, and he ends up escaping on a TIE fighter. It's pretty sick artwork. You gotta read this issue if you ever get to one. Issue number 33, the Saber Clash. Epic battle. And basically that's all I had to say. He escaped, but he leaves them on board, and they're gonna continue their mission to take over this planet. And Han ends up bailing on him to get reinforcements with the rebel force, and that's what happens in issue number 34, which I haven't read yet. So this is JBM from VillainNews, and this was my Star Wars issue number 33 Saber Clash review. I'm out.